good afternoon from the National Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. Welcome to Newsline, a 30-minute presentation of the most compelling news from Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Wednesday, the 6th of March, 2024. I am Vafli Kamara presenting. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai issues executive order establishing the Office of Assets Recovery. Central Bank warns against the refusal of old Liberian dollar banknotes ahead of the exchange deadline.
We have emphasized that the deadline has not expired, so people should accept the money. They shouldn't reject it because it's still legal tender.
Information Minister Jerolimic P.I. Stores Culture Ambassador Julie Andy for immense contribution to national development over the years.
Culture too is a symbol of our cultural value. We continue to look for them and support them.
And away from home, suspected Boko Haram jihadists kidnapped dozens of displaced people in Nigeria's Borno state. These and many more stories, including sports, the weather reports, are coming up. First, Grace Moleyeze and the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai has issued an executive order number 126 establishing the Office of Assets Recovery. The president said the move is in response to widespread concerns regarding the unlawful acquisition of wealth by some past government officials at the expense of the Liberian people. President Boakai said it is paramount that public assets that were illegally obtained and converted to private use be retrieved and returned to the people. The executive order also mandates that perpetrators be brought to justice in accordance with appropriate laws that provide for confiscation through criminal investigation and legal prosecution. It also calls for travel restrictions to be imposed on suspects, and efforts will be made to extradite individuals residing outside the jurisdiction of Liberia. Central Bank of Liberia has warned against the refusal of the old Liberian dollar banknotes on the market before the stipulated March 31 deadline. It followed media reports that some citizens across the country are rejecting the old banknotes known as LS1 and LS2 series. Speaking on ELBC's Money Matters Wednesday, CBL Head of Corporate Communications, Councillor Alphonsus Zion, said the old banknotes remain legal tender on the market until April 1 this year.
We have emphasized that the deadline has not expired, so people should accept the money. They shouldn't reject it because it's still legal tender. People should receive the money. The deadline is not over yet, and even after the deadline, there's still a mechanism for exchange of the money.
Mr. Zion noted that the CBL is working along with the Liberia Marketing Association to carry out awareness about the need to accept the money until the deadline. He also disclosed there has been a series of engagements with money exchangers and street vendors to develop mechanisms for a smooth process. Information Minister Jerolimic Pia has extolled Culture Ambassador Julie Andy for promoting the country's cultural heritage over the years. Minister Pia said Ambassador Andy has immensely projected Liberia's positive image, making it an attractive tourist destination and enviable in the sub-region. Speaking Tuesday when he officially took over the ministry, the new MICAD boss described Ambassador Andy as true patriot of national growth and development.
Culture too is a symbol of our cultural value. We continue to look for them and support them. Those of you who listen to Fatu Giflo, ZTT, and all these people, where did they come from? The national culture too.
He said Ambassador Andy continues to rally Liberians to foster national reconciliation and unity through good cultural practices and performing arts. Minister Pia at the same time disclosed that the ministry is working out modalities to establish the National Tourism Authority consistent with President Joseph Boakai's vision for the ministry. Meanwhile, Culture Ambassador Julie Andy has assured Liberians of her commitment in showcasing the country's culture both at home and abroad. Ambassador Andy said good cultural practices are pivotal to fostering peace and democracy, pledging her full commitment to every national endeavor in such direction. The Liberian cultural ambassador was speaking Tuesday at activities marking the official takeover of new information minister Jeremy Pia.
We pledge our support to you. We support the work of government through the Minister of Information, Culture, Health and Tourism.
The Crusader for Peace executive director is at the same time calling on Liberians to embrace their culture to enhance the country's growth and development. She, however, praised the immediate past administration for the cordial working relationship over the years. Affected concession communities in District 1 Guapulu County have shut down the operations of mining company BioChico over lack of mineral development agreement. The clan chief of the area, Francis Siawolo, told our correspondent that the company has been operating for over 2 years with no improvement for citizens in the concession areas. Mr. Siawolo said the government of Liberia and BioChico signed a memorandum of understanding 2 years ago to build schools, clinics, and provide jobs opportunities, but to no avail. Meanwhile, residents of District 1 Guapulu County want government and relevant authorities to swiftly intervene into the statement. A one-day women's conference on leadership skills, development, public speaking, and media engagement will get underway on Thursday in Painesville. The conference is being convened by a group of youth leaders under the banner Association of Dream Builders International. According to the association executive director Lawrence Deyuga, the conference seeks to inspire young women to compete with their male counterparts in all spheres of life.
Let's tackle the issue of fear that actually engulfs them, denying them for claiming the professional ladder. So it will be an opportunity for most of our women.
Mr. Deyuga said lectures from former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor and inspirational speaker Dr. Larry Brople will focus on ways to break barriers, including fear factor. According to him, the conference will afford participating women the opportunity to interact with guests as well as understand the power of the media in highlighting their voices on societal issues.
Grace Molly is there with the news bulletin. You're listening to Newsline on ELBC Radio. One of the big stories we're following this afternoon, President Joseph Boakai issues executive order establishing the Office of Assets Recovery. Well, like you heard there, President Joseph Boakai seems unwavering in his attempt to ensure that past government officials account for their stewardship. The Liberian leader issued Executive Order number 126 last evening, establishing the Office of Assets Recovery amid widespread concerns that the past officials have looted and converted several public assets into private use. As our executive mansion reporter Vasta Talo reports, the criminal prosecution awaits ex-officials found culpable of stealing assets belonging to the Liberian people.